Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Flash. Thank you for joining me for another Marvel Mystic Mayhem video. Now, Loki is here. He's arrived. This video here, we're going to be covering whether or not you should be considering pulling for Loki. Some of the teams that will work with him. We'll check out his kit, whole 9 yards. Check out some of the new content in the game. But all of that being said, I very much appreciate each and every one of you. Hit the like, sub button. Things go a long way. I appreciate it. Now, Loki is here. Let's check it out. The design, we've gone over all of that. Loki looks good. We finally got details, all the details about his kit, the God of Lies. He's in the summon rate up banner here with Angela and Dream Queen. Dream Queen, that's up to you. A lot of Dream Queen players are happy. She got the +3 back. It's very good. You've leveled her back up. Angela, yeah, there are better free-to-play units to use than Angela. All right, let's get into Loki here, into the talents. Now, first and foremost, chill pact. Enemies in the status of wet, electrified, burning, or frozen have their defense reduced by 24%. It's very good. Loki has some debuffs in his kit, and it will pair well with other heroes in the, in the comp for these debuffs. Frost Giant. When a frozen enemy is present, Destroyer Loki's skill Harbinger of Ragnarok costs 1 less mana. That's going to be very good when you see how his ultimate works. Cheating Death. When taking fatal damage, retains 1 HP, gains a shield equal to 30% of max HP once per battle. This is probably going to be very good for PvP. Characters reviving is just a very strong ability. Think Black Knight, right? But Black Knight is just kind of lacking, right? Liar Liar. For each wet, electrified, burning, frozen enemy, Loki's crit rate increases by 5% up to 25%. So you notice the trend here where Loki's kit seems to be kind of driving you into the DPS kind of crit route, right? Not so much control-y support, but more of a DPS character. Right, it's almost kind of surprising that he wasn't just a full-blown striker, but yeah, it's neither here nor there. We went over Chill Pact. This is just the basic attack. Let's get into the summon. Summons a clone that continuously taunts enemies. 1 clone per. Can't have more than 1 clone out at a time. Clone has 20% of Loki's max HP, 100% of his attack and defense. And when the clone's defeated, Loki gains 96 ultimate energy, and that's super important, because Loki's ult is 300 energy to use. Spoiler alert. So which means this is basically a third of his energy, his ultimate energy bar. Boom, right there when the clone is defeated. So it's accelerating him getting to his ult, which is going to be super important, right? The debuff, it's special damage. It deals 448% of Loki's attack. Okay, target area, so it's got some nice AoE effect to enemies. And applies frozen for 10 seconds. Super good, and works really well with some characters. Now, Fiddle the Fate transforms into Destroyer Loki, gains 2 stacks of Strings of Fate. His skills change, so his whole kit changes to Iceberg of Jotun and Harbinger of Ragnarok. Remember, we spoke about that before. That's the one back here where when a frozen enemy is if any frozen enemy is on the board, Harbinger of Ragnarok costs 1 less mana. Super good. Now, using any of those abilities, either of these two, consumes 1 stack of the Strings for Fate, and if you use 2 whole stacks, Loki reverts back to his original form. Now, Iceberg of Jotun deals 544% of Destroyer Loki's attack as special damage to enemies in the target area, again AoE, and applies again frozen for 10 seconds. And then, now remember, that's Iceberg, applies frozen, which means Harbinger of Ragnarok is going to cost 1 less mana. And when you do that one now, deals 1024% of Loki's attack as special damage to enemies in the target area again. Now, this is a smaller range, but another AoE effect. And 30% more damage, to say it with me, frozen enemies. This is going to shred. We got them frozen enemies. Just without any assistance, Loki's going to be able to pull this off. Because the first ability is freezing enemies, applying that frozen for 10 seconds. And then Ragnarok is doing this more damage to frozen enemies. That's very good. Again, Loki just feels more... The only thing that's making him feel control-y is, you know, these debuffs and the summon. It's the only thing in his kit that has that kind of control feel. Otherwise, he's just a straight up DPS character. Really just doing the damage. As far as the Soul Sagas, unless you're a super whale, you're not going to really fill this out. You're really looking at Heart 1 and Mind 1 at best, for the most part. This one is, again, frozen enemies, increases crit by 50%. I would probably lean more towards the Heart 1, because the clone is going to be out a lot. You're really going to be focused on that. And when the clone's defeated, not only will you, from its core ability, get that extra ult energy for Loki, but 200% attack, special damage to nearby enemies is really good. And again, it's going to apply frozen, which buffs other things in his kit. Very good. That's going to be nice. Let's check it out. Let's get into Loki. Let's get into a little bit of get the trial going. See how he performs straight away. This is, what do we got out here? Hulk and Emma Frost. Man, Loki just sounds like a DPS character. All right, let's get things cracking here. Let's get the summon out. Boom, right away. Going. Draws all the attention. Love that. Let's not do that. Let's do this. I want to try to get Loki's stuff here highlighted. Okay, so here's the debuff. I want to do this before. Oh, look at this. Look at the area of attack there. That is amazing. Let's get him active here. Let's get him active. Boom. Look at Destroyer Loki. My goodness, just looking menacing. Let's get, like I said, I want to kind of highlight Loki's stuff here. So there's the debuff. Here's Iceberg of Jotun. Cost 2. Now it didn't specify what the cost was on these within the talent section of his kit. I'm gonna hold off on this. I want some more enemies on the board. There we go. Oh my goodness, look at the AoE. Look at the AoE. Everybody's getting hit. Everybody's frozen. Now, boom. So that means that the original core cost for, is this Harbinger of, forget the rest of it, Harbinger of Ragnarok, cost 3. So now it got the 1 mana reduction from frozen enemy being on the board. Let's just focus. Oh, look at this. Bam, right here in the middle. Boom. Oh, love it. Love to see it. Could have even further had that if we had the Emma Frost ability out on the board, but we didn't. So, but no big deal. Man, Loki is looking really, really nice. But again, it's Loki has more of a feels like a DPS character. Feels like a striker. But I'm digging it. Look at this. Look at this AoE. I'm digging his kit. I'm digging his kit a lot. Now, of course, we have to ask ourselves a different question here in a second once I kind of finish this up. I do think Loki is super cool, but again, survivability could rear its head as an issue. Love that. Again, let's try to get back another one of Loki's skills here. I'm not sure we're gonna get the chance. Yeah, no, we're not. This game's just gonna be over. But we did get to see everything. We did get to showcase all of Loki's abilities, and they were all out on display for all to see. Now, here's the important part of this. Let's move on to asking the question that's on everybody's mind. Let's address the elephant in the room. Should you pull for Loki? Now, it's difficult to ask yourself, you can't one-to-one compare Loki to an Emma Frost or an Invisible Woman or Doctor Strange, because those characters play super good role in the support realm for survivability. whether it be through healing, Invisible Woman with the shielding and the invisibility. Loki is not doing that. Loki is not assisting with survivability. He is a control character, but he feels more like a DPS character than anything else. Super good, but more so in the realm of DPS. He's doing damage, he's doing debuffs, but a lot of those debuffs are then turning over and focusing on his crit and his damage. It's not really focusing on healing or any sort of survivability, which is common for the controller role. Now, again, that doesn't make him bad, but if you're asking yourself, should you use a bunch of keys and pull for Loki? I think the answer is no. If you're in need of a controller, not when you have one of the best characters in the game right here, still on a rate up banner available to you. If you need a controller and you don't have Invisible Woman, you don't have Emma Frost, hey, use those keys on Invisible Woman. I know Loki is the new shiny brand new thing, but he's more fun than anything. I'm not sure if his kit is going to make him meta in any different sort of comps. I don't necessarily think that's a thing. I just don't. I think this is who you want. You want Invisible Woman. If you're looking for a controller, you have one of, if not the best one in the game right here. Pull for Invisible Woman. I don't think Loki is a must-have, which actually is good for this game, because the worry is like we keep getting these new characters frequently, and a lot of the player base is just everybody can't get everything unless you're a big time whale, which is very damaging for free to play. But we don't need Loki. It's refreshing to get a character that looks cool, that is fun, that has a pretty good kit, but not necessary, right? Same thing with Mr. Fantastic, not really necessary. Invisible Woman, on the other hand, is a character you are going to want to have. Very strong, and I would pull for Invisible Woman if given the choice. I have Invisible Woman. I will not be pulling for Loki. I don't think I need Loki. It would be more of a, when I said this before, it would be more of a want than anything else. Like I said, Loki's very good, but we'll see how good. It's my recommendation that he's not going to fit into any super meta comps, right? So that's my feelings on Loki. Let's take a quick peek at, like I said, we have the new Nightfall boss, Surtur. Sure, looks very good. I've done my 5 now. It's loading video for the first time. I did everything on my phone. We did the first 5 here for this one, because you have to do each one again, so you can't just do all 5 in Nightmare. So tomorrow I'll be able to do strictly focus on Nightmare. So if you take a look, you'll see some of that's mine. So if you take a look, you'll see some of the best comps. Captain America, big surprise. That's always going to be a thing. See some variation here. Seeing a lot of Spider-Man in here. It's like, okay, that's interesting. That's different. But if you scroll down a little bit more, you'll see some of the Fantastic Four teams here. Again, you can start seeing a lot of Invisible Woman. You're at Captain America again. You're seeing a lot of this comp here, I've noticed. Emma Frost, Invisible Woman, and Scarlet Witch. That's interesting, and I am curious to dive a little bit more into that. You are seeing some more variance in these comps for this boss than you were seeing with the others. With the others, you're just seeing a lot of the same. This is similar. You're seeing Scarlet Witch, you're seeing Cat. You are seeing a lot of the same, but it's different. It's more variant, right? Because you're seeing Echo, you're seeing Spider-Man, you see, Human Torch, Mr. Fantastic, Psylocke. You are seeing more variance comp. Hey, look, it's a Loki. You're seeing more variance compositions here than you were seeing with some of the other Nightfall bosses. So that's pretty cool and reassuring to the player base. Was, look, you got a damn near complete free-to-play one here. You got Lady Bullseye, Echo, Spider-Man, not free-to-play, but this could be something else, and you'd probably be it'd still be very good here. So that's dope to see. What else have we got in here? We got the new story, right? And I keep clicking that. I keep taking the long route, right? So we've got the new story arc here. 9 is it? Okay, complete stem 5, 6, 6, 7, 6, 8 to unlock, which I've done that? Question mark. Okay, you just got to do the other parts to get through that. No big deal. What else is there? There is the new, is it in challenge if I'm not mistaken? Super Flow challenge. Here we go. Com stream. Raging Rapid. Okay, so Raging Rapid, we've got the new Super Flow challenge, and you can achieve, just by playing, you can get yourself a unique artifact. That's very good. Increases the wearer's crit rate by 20% and decreases the wearer's defense by 30%. So talk about glass cannon. Hello, Scarlet Witch. I mean, if you don't have something else, you could do that. Like the Darkhold decreases defense as well. So be very careful with how many of those you put on a character like that. Could also go well on a Lady Bullseye, for example. But it's nice to be able to earn this without having to either just pay for something, or B, have to get lucky with rolls, right? I'm still pulling for unique artifacts. I have a few of them. I still need to complete that journey. What else? Did we miss anything? Mystic Clash is back. I like Mystic Clash. It's cool. It's probably my preferred of these modes. Bifrost Brawl has reset, so you gotta go through this again to get your champion. All the rewards are here again, so that's nice. Overall, W's overall, right? Don't forget you're gifted by fate. 7 days logins just for logging into the game. Could some of these be a little better? Sure, but you're getting 3 free keys. The epic artifact, we get so many of these. That's so inconsequential. 2-star highlight, you should have most of these, honestly. But I have spoken to some people who don't have Monster Within. I'm like, oh my god, you don't have Monster Within? But here's your chance. Bam, you can get that right there. And a recharge spell. Oh, listen, this is freebies just for logging in. Like, you shouldn't expect the world from just the free login part. Now, but that's pretty much where I'll put the stop on this video. Loki looks really good, really cool, but you don't need him. You could pass on Loki and I think you'll be just fine most of the player base. But that's it. That's all I got. Like I said, I very much appreciate all the love, support. Hit the like button, subscribe, do all those things. Obviously that stuff goes a long way. And that's it. I'm Flash, and I will catch you guys for next time on the next issue or the next edition of another video for Marvel Mystic Mayhem. Catch y'all later. Peace.